anything, I am the opposite of a misogynist. I'm a pro-misogynist.
Now, these are all some of my favorite TV shows, but they all are not on the same level, and that's an important thing to understand before you watch this video. This isn't about good and bad in a snobby way. Every level exists for a reason. Some shows are designed to be noise in the background. Others are designed to dominate the internet. Some try to be art. Some stumble into it by accident. The fun part is figuring out where your favorite show actually sits, and why. Let's start at the very bottom, with the shows nobody admits to watching, even though the numbers say otherwise. Level 1 is trash TV.
I am what I am, and I'll stand by that. And I'll stand by that. That's some
TV that doesn't ask you to think, just to react. Shows like Love Island, Too Hot to Handle, The Bachelor, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Selling Sunset, Love is Blind. They're less stories and more controlled, social experiments. You've got carefully selected personalities, all thrown into environments specifically designed to amplify insecurity, jealousy, and attraction. No phones. Too much alcohol. Confessionals cut right after someone says something incriminating. There's no real arc in the traditional writing sense. Conflict appears, flares up, then is replaced by newer conflict.
I pretty much cried in front of you, and you've not even gone, are you okay? You don't have that. You're sitting there bullshitting.
The editing does most of the storytelling. Rapid cutting between reaction shots, music stings that tell you exactly how to feel, and cliffhangers built around sentences like, "Can I pull you for a chat?" What makes this level interesting is that, beneath the obvious chaos, you're still watching people negotiate status, desire, and fear in real time. It's human behavior turned up to 11, and packaged as comfort chaos. Nobody calls it great television, but it is undeniably effective at its one job: keeping your brain mildly stimulated while your thumb hovers over next episode. Level 2 is comfort TV. The shows that slowly become part of your daily routine. This is Friends, The Office, Modern Family, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, Big Bang Theory. These series are not built to shock you. They're built on rhythm. In Friends, the rhythm is in the dynamic. Monica's control, Chandler's deflection, Joey's optimism, Ross's fragility, Rachel's reinvention, Phoebe's trauma disguised as whimsy. Every episode is a remix of those emotional instruments. Modern Family refines the family sitcom structure. 3 branches of one family, 3 parallel storylines, and then a closing voiceover that gently stitches them together. The show rarely blows your mind, but structurally it's incredibly disciplined. Setup, complication, emotional button, repeat for 11 seasons.
For you might not be able to see ahead.
Boo.
The Office uses mockumentary framing to add an extra layer. The glances to camera, the awkward pauses, the way silence becomes a punchline. You're not just laughing at jokes, you're laughing at the way people fail to present themselves. Comfort TV becomes rewatchable because it makes space for you. You don't have to pay full attention, you can dip in and out, and the characters will still feel like they've been living their lives off screen. It's not trying to be profound, but it is doing something hard, building fictional people you're willing to spend hundreds of hours with.
And I stepped on my muffin on my head and my muffin.
Level 3 is where TV starts to feel like a global event, viral TV.
Vamos a pelear.
These are shows like Stranger Things, Squid Game, Money Heist, Wednesday, Bridgerton, The Witcher, series that don't just air, they take over. Structurally, a lot of these shows are built around moments, iconic set pieces, needle drops, or character beats designed to be clipped and shared. Stranger Things weaponizes nostalgia. Kids on bikes, synth-heavy scores, practical creature effects. It borrows the language of 80s cinema, but executes it with modern pacing. Season 4's Eddie Munson guitar solo isn't just a character moment. It's a shot crafted to live forever on YouTube and TikTok. Squid Game is deadly simple by design. Children's games, bright colors, mask symbolism. Visually clear enough to cut through language barriers in a single frame. Beneath that, it's a blunt but effective allegory about debt, class, and how disposable human lives become when turned into entertainment. Money Heist turns melodrama into a feature, not a bug. It leans into music, speeches, masks, and heightened emotion. The professor isn't just planning a robbery, he's recruiting the audience emotionally to join the rebellion. Viral TV sometimes sacrifices nuance for momentum, but when it works, it captures something real about the world at that moment. Our attention spans, our anxiety, our need for shared spectacle. These are the shows that become social phenomena, even if they don't always hold up to microscopic scrutiny on a craft level. Level 4 is good TV in the most sincere sense of the phrase.
Cartel's number 2 was Operations Chief Miguel Rodriguez.
Not perfect, not life-changing, but solid, confident, and frequently better than it gets credit for. Think Narcos, Vikings, The Last Kingdom, Family Guy, Suits, Lucifer, The Mandalorian. Narcos mixes documentary-style narration with dramatized storytelling. The omniscient DEA voiceover gives everything a fatalistic tone. We're not watching if things go wrong. We're watching how they inevitably collapse. It's not subtle, but it is textured, Spanish and English fluidly interwoven, real history bent just enough to feel like a thriller. Vikings and The Last Kingdom inhabit a similar historical space but take different approaches. Vikings leans heavily into mysticism and prophecy, often blurring what's real and what's spiritual. The Last Kingdom is more grounded, more character-driven, with Uhtred constantly pulled between Saxon and Dane identity. Neither show is flawless. Both deliver rich worlds, strong arcs, and episodes that stick with you. On the other end of the spectrum, Family Guy is nihilism disguised as a cartoon. It's structurally chaotic, cutaways, non-sequiturs, fourth-wall breaks.
I can't lose all my money in my house, then I'll have to move into some depressing divorced guy apartment.
But that looseness is by design. It's less a narrative and more a fire hose of jokes, some juvenile, some weirdly sharp. Suits survives almost entirely on charisma. The legal realism is questionable at best, but Harvey and Mike's dynamic, Donna's omniscience, and the show's obsession with image and power make it extremely watchable. Level 4 shows rarely get placed in top 10 of all-time lists, but they quietly fill watch lists for years. They're the workhorses of the medium. Level 5 is Prestige TV. Series that care deeply about form as well as content. These shows are less interested in being background noise and more interested in rewarding your full attention. Mad Men is the slow burn perfected. On the surface, advertising executives in the 60s. Underneath, identity, performance addiction, masculinity, the lies we tell to survive. Scenes are often quiet, static, but charged. Don Draper staring out of a window can tell you more about alienation than some shows manage in an entire season.
Pete, get out. You're making a fool of yourself.
You can deny it.
Mr. Robot uses visual language as part of the narrative itself. Characters are framed at the very edge of the screen to emphasize Elliot's disconnection. Aspect ratios shift as his perception of reality changes.
Instead of hacking the carrier, the situation's urgent enough and just ask them to track a block off.
It's not just a hacker show. It's a psychological portrait painted with camera placement and sound design. True Detective Season 1 is essentially a novel filmed in 8 chapters. The long tracking shot in Episode 4 isn't just technical flexing. It externalizes Rust Cole's descent into chaos, putting the viewer into the same breathless, disoriented state.
Amelia, 18th and 19th. 90 seconds, motherfucker.
The Crown is prestige in the classical sense. Lavish, meticulous, and emotionally restrained. It uses the British monarchy as a lens to explore duty, repression, and the cost of empire, all while every frame looks like a painting. Atlanta bends genre almost every episode, jumping from surreal horror to deadpan comedy to dreamlike allegory.
Right and center.
Not if one is comfortable with having enemies.
But it always returns to something grounded and human at its core. Prestige TV is where television starts openly borrowing from cinema, theater, and literature. It's still episodic, but the ambition is bigger than just keep you watching. Level 6 is cultural monuments.
We're in the great game now.
The series that don't just succeed, they reorient the whole medium around them. The Sopranos proved that audiences would follow a deeply flawed protagonist without needing him to learn his lesson by the end of every episode. It legitimized TV as a place for complex, novelistic storytelling. The Wire dismantles the idea of simple heroes and villains. Each season treats an institution: the police, unions, politics, schools, media.
Let me ask, and I want everybody to write this down.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Like a character slowly collapsing under its own contradictions. It's demanding and intentionally so. Breaking Bad is maybe the cleanest example of long-form character transformation we've ever had on TV.
Yeah, sorry, man. There's no scenario where this guy lives.
Walter White's shift from Mr. White to Heisenberg is not sudden. It's incremental, horrifying, and meticulously plotted. Episodes like Ozymandias feel less like TV and more like Greek tragedy. Game of Thrones, for at least 6 seasons, was appointment television on a scale we might never see again.
You conspired with Cersei Lannister and Joffrey Baratheon to betray Ned Stark. Thanks to your treachery, he was imprisoned and later executed.
Shocking deaths, morally gray politics, cinematic battle sequences. It brought big-budget fantasy into the mainstream cultural conversation. The later seasons stumbled, but at its peak it was genuinely era-defining. These are the series that other shows are compared to. They become a shorthand. Is it as good as The Wire? Is this the next Breaking Bad? Most shows never reach this level. They don't have to. But the ones that do become permanent reference points.
Bet your ass the Cowboys come. No.
And then there's level 7.
The next words out of your mouth ought to be the truth.
Where TV becomes so precise, so emotionally devastating, so structurally elegant, that it stops feeling like a show and starts feeling like a lived experience. Chernobyl compresses disaster into 5 episodes of suffocating dread.
1,000 years of sacrifice in our veins, and every generation must know its own suffering.
It's about radiation, yes, but really, it's about lies, denial, and the human instinct to protect systems over people. The horror isn't in jump scares. It's in watching ordinary people slowly realize the cost of truth. Better Call Saul takes a comedic side character from Breaking Bad and builds a tragedy around him with almost surgical patience.
Just as I thought. No battery in here. You removed the battery. That's a sorry little trick, isn't it?
Yeah, you got me, Chuck.
It's about choice, self-sabotage, and the tiny mundane decisions that send a life in the wrong direction. The show trusts silence. In some episodes, the most important moment is a look, not a line. The Leftovers doesn't care about answering its central mystery. It uses the unexplained disappearance of 2% of the world's population as an excuse to explore grief, faith, and the unbearable strangeness of carrying on.
For whoever is joined with all the living, there is hope.
It's messy, spiritual, funny, and heartbreaking in ways most shows never attempt. Band of Brothers remains one of the most human depictions of war ever filmed. It's not about spectacle so much as it is about exhaustion, loyalty, fear, and the way shared trauma bonds people together. Succession disguises itself as a show about business and wealth, but it's really 4 seasons of emotional archaeology. We're peeling back the damage done by one man to his children. The writing is razor sharp, the performance is almost frighteningly good, and the finale feels both inevitable and devastating.
I'm the eldest boy! I am the eldest boy!
BoJack Horseman, hidden under its cartoon animal aesthetic, might be one of the most honest pieces of media ever made about addiction, depression, and the limits of forgiveness. It uses absurdity to smuggle in truths that live-action drama often shies away from.
No.
And did you lie to the police about any of these things?
No.
Level 7 shows aren't perfect in the mathematical sense. They're perfect in the sense that, for what they're trying to do, they feel almost impossible to improve. They don't just fill time, they stay with you. They're the reason some people say, without irony, that we are living through a golden age of television. So those are the 7 levels of TV shows. From the noisy chaos at the bottom to the rare masterpieces at the top. The funny thing is, we kind of need all of them. Some days you want Chernobyl, some days you want Love Island. One rewires your brain chemistry. The other helps you forget you even have one. Let me know in the comments, where does your all-time favorite show actually land on this scale? And what's one level 1 or level 2 show you'll probably never admit you've binged, but you absolutely did?